Good morning, everyone. You can hear me, right? Thank you for coming here. It's Friday morning. It's 9:30. Some of us had some drinks last night, so thank you for coming. Let's hope you enjoy. So, as was presented, so we'll be here for a session called From the Algarve to the World, Scaling Innovation Beyond Borders. So the idea is to explain a little bit and to show it to some entrepreneurs, some companies in the Algarve that went through this process of going out, of innovating, of going international markets. And today we have three companies, Sparos, NUTRIFRESCO, and Congelagos. Interestingly enough, people talk about the Algarve as just tourism. So these are production companies connected with blue economy. So in markets that they've been able to scale up. And so I'll be inviting to the stage Luís Conceição from Sparos. A round of applause for them. Pedro Bastos from NUTRIFRESCO. And Belo from Congelagos. Thank you very much for being with us. So this is, I will shut up as much as I can because the idea is to pick their brains and listen from them and have a conversation. So what I'll be immediately asking, I'll be sitting down, is before starting with some questions, I'll be asking each one of you if you could present yourselves and the company that you represent and what does the company do. That's it. Okay. Well, please, just because you're just right on my side.
Okay, good morning to all. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the organization, for the invitation. My name is Luís Conceição. I am one of the founders and one of the CEOs of Sparos. We are located in Olhão, not far from here, and our area of activity it's nutrition and feeding of fish and shrimp of aquaculture. So we are targeting the aquaculture market, and we do different things. Starting, we do prototyping of fish feeds for other companies and institutions. We also have some commercial products specializing on small-sized fish, so on fish larvae, the fish babies, you can also call them like that. And then we also provide services for other companies that are farming fish to optimize their feeding. Basically, that's what we do.
Thank you, Luís. Pedro?
Hello, good morning, everyone. So I'm Pedro Bastos, the founder of NUTRIFRESCO. I'm a passionate person for marine resources with a family connection to trade in fish business, and I have a degree in biochemistry in Universidade do Algarve. So, and I decided to found NUTRIFRESCO as a company specialized on supplying the very best fresh fish to the local region. And as we start growing the business, now we are exporting for 12 countries, Europe, US, UK, Dubai. And our main goal is to supply the very best fish we can assure to the market. So we are happy to supply the very fine restaurants over the world, over Europe. And we try to see the fish as the Portuguese fish as a very special product, and to join quality and quality selection and quality grading on the top of that, so we can be proud of being part of a group of companies that say that we have the best fish in the world. So that's our goal.
It's a good trademark to have best fish in the world. Yes. Thank you very much, Francisco.
Hi, good morning. My name is Belo. I'm a board member of Congelagos, and I agree with Pedro. We have the best fish in the world. So we are also in the same field, work slightly different. Congelagos is a company that buys fresh fish straight from the fishermen. We handle, process, and freeze the fish in order to guarantee the same quality during the entire year. We are focused mainly in three species: sardines, mackerel, and horse mackerel. And we have a full commitment that we believe that fishing is only sustainable if it's sustainable for everybody. So it's very important to handle very well the fish, the fishermen, the industry, and the consumer. And we are based in Lagos, and 90% of our sales are from outside Portugal. So
Thank you. So it's interesting to see that we are in the Algarve, but looking at a panel for innovation and for scaling up and going international. We have 3 companies from the blue economy and with products that wants to test the Algarve as the best fish in the world and the pipeline to getting that. So the first question that I had prepared, and because we are from I'm from the university, so that is usually the first thing that we see as a difficulty. I would ask, looking at each company, which is different, but looking at the innovation process, what would you say is the most challenging phases that you had to go through in this innovation of bringing these innovations to market, whether in terms of bringing fresh fish to the market, getting feeds for clients? What would you say in terms of innovation and the process of innovation scaling up? What were the main challenges that you faced? I would probably start again with Luís, because you're right next to me, and then we'll...
Yeah. I mean, the largest challenge that we face, actually, I think it's the latest step in the innovation. I mean, well, also because our background, we are, I didn't mention in the beginning, but we are a startup rising from the University of Algarve and from CCMAR, and so we have a strong research and scientific background. So for us, the developing high quality products was not such a big challenge. It was hard work, but not such a big challenge. But then when it became more difficult, and then also getting in contact with key customers is also not that difficult. We also managed to get there easy. Then what the biggest hurdle was to transform what it's normally called the lead into a sale. So that's the most difficult part actually in the innovation is the final process. I mean, going from a very good product to a product that is a commercial success. So that's our experience.
So from our side is a bit of a mind-changing game. We try to see the fresh fish as a very important seafood product, and Portugal is known by having a huge amount of water, but that doesn't mean so much fish, but it means a lot of variety. And as we look for these sea treasures as something important for us to hit, and mainly because our company, we supply around 200 different species, is a bit more complex to teach fishermen and our staff to learn from all these species. Between octopus and tuna and sea ocean, there are so many different things. So the challenge is, first of all, to change the mind of the fisherman to don't see just himself as a fish hunter, but see also himself as someone that takes care of the fish quality. Because fish quality comes from the ocean, but also from the first stage of the fish. When you take him out of the water, this is the most critical phases for the fish quality. So phase number 1, change the mind of the fisherman, and phase number 2, change our workers' mind to see the fish as and take care of the fish with more care, with more in a professional way, so that the fish could arrive to other part of the world in the perfect conditions. So this is the most challenging thing we have to do, these 2 things.
Francisco, you...
I kind of agree with because in my perspective, the 2 more challenging points that I see, one is market validation, because not all products are suitable for all markets, and not what we believe that Portugal works very well. And
is it working?
I can. Technical.
Analogic never fails.
Okay. Now, can you hear me now better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will try to remember what I was saying. So for me, I agree with Luis in the part of the distribution, but before the distribution, I see the market validation as a process that needs to as a big challenge, because not all products fit all markets. So we really need to understand exactly if our product fits the markets that we are looking, and if the innovations that we are deliver are in line with the markets that we want to achieve. And the second point is this distribution, because it's really sometimes we do have amazing product, we do have high quality, we know that we have something that is unique, but then we are not capable to sell it, or we are not capable to reach the right person that is going to buy our product. So we sometimes as that misfit. So for me, the most challenging parts are market validation and distribution parts. So the go-to market, if you prefer to call that way.
And just if while we have Francisco with the mic, and because so if this is the main limitations that we find, the main barriers that we find, I would say, what would it be the main needs that you as companies in this area identify to overcome that? So is it qualified human resources? You were saying before, Pedro was saying, is it a question of training the people or having this more information on what they can do? Is it funding available? Because everything's always funding. Is it licensing in the blue economy in these areas? And I would also like my curiosity to hear all your thoughts on that. Is it space? Because everything that connects with space and with it's hard inland, in the ocean and near the ocean, the coast. It's usually, I'm sorry if anyone's here, but from that area, but it's usually a nightmare that we go through with entrepreneurs, because there's 10 entities giving technical advice on that. So there's the legislation is not updated. What would you say are the main things that you would need? What do you think are what would overcome that? Is it any of these things or not? Is just money? Is it better legislation? Is there any tips that you would like to give on that?
I think that you touch all because it's not. I think that there's not one single factor. It's a mix of factors from the ideation part. Because if you have crazy ideas that are not suitable for the market, you are already losing. It's the development part, because sometimes you identify where you want to go, but you don't know how to do it, or you don't have the right resources of to do it. Then it's how to validate what you are developing. The resources are also critical, because there's if you don't have the right resources to develop the right product, you are not going to reach. I don't see as the funding as the right approach. I see the return, because basically if you have an interesting return, the funding will appear. So sometimes it's a little bit the shift between from funding to return. Focus on the return that you are going to have, and the period and the time that you are going to have that return. And then again, the 2 points that I mentioned before: the market opportunity, the market fit, and the distribution. So I think it's in developing the new innovation, you are basically in every step you are questioning if you are going the right direction or no. So you can fail in every step for different reasons.
Thank you. Pedro, what do you think?
So from our side, I will say mostly three things. Licensing is not easy in Portugal. We do take too long to give the license, so it doesn't help. But mainly, I think the labor laws are also the worst we can face through. Because in our case, we buy fish from the ocean, from the fishermen, and fishermen, if he have chance to catch 10,000 tons in a day, he will bring 10,000 tons in a day. But then our staff don't want to work extra hours. So how can we combine a huge production in one day if we have a limited availability of production hours from our staff, and if our law kind of look for the entrepreneurs and the companies that ask for extra hours for the staff as a kind of criminals. If you ask a person to work 2 extra hours or 3 extra hours, it's already too much. So combining this availability from the ocean, from the fishing process, with the limited availability from the staff is challenging. And I think, in my opinion, the labor laws should be more flexible in our area. And of course, the mindset gaming, the training gaming, but mainly the mindset, the culture that we have to change, because Portugal, we have the water, we have the artisanal fishing, but we have to look into the fish in a different perspective, not only from inside to sell in the domestic market, but also from outside and see the product as something with more valuable. And this mindset changing is also our challenge.
Thank you. And Luís, so I know more, a little bit in more depth, Sparos and the process of Sparos from a spin-off until where you are right now. So what would you say are the main limitations? You also came from R&D, also in the blue economy sector, relating with industry, small production. What would you say are the best?
The challenge we face there, the main one is that, being a small company, as you say, we have to be innovative if we want to be competitive in our area. Most of the players, they are multinationals. We are one of the small fish, let's say, in this market. So we have to be highly innovative. Of course, we try to focus to start with niche markets, so where it will be easy to penetrate, and this we have identified, and we are successful there. But still, our products tend to be more expensive than our competitors, and but we try to convince our customers, the potential customers, that the cost benefit of our product is worth investing in it, and we have data to show that. But still, that's not easy. Some we convince them relatively easy, some it's a bit more difficult, and some others they only care about price. So if you don't give me price, I don't want to talk with you.
And do you want those clients?
So, yes, no. Those are the ones that we drop quicker. But still, but it's also, we see it's also our role to communicate things better and better. And this brings to the second main issue in this aspect. I think it's the question of human resources, of having qualified human resources. We are a company with highly qualified human resources. We are 30 people, and out of these 30, we have 9 persons with a PhD degree, and most of the others, they have masters or licenciatura degrees as well. But still, we think we could have even more qualified people. And we have been relatively successful in our recruitment strategy. I think we have very good people, but we see this can be a problem in the future. We have lost some of the very good people we had before, and we have one in Portugal. We have what I think it's a trap. It's the trap of low salaries. Because if we have low salaries, it's difficult to retain the best people working with us. And this is a challenge that we have been dealing with. We try to pay as good as we can do it in a sustainable way for the company, but still it's a challenge. But I think the general environment in Portugal does not help for that. The trend in Portugal is to go for lower salaries, not for higher salaries, and I think that's not good for the country. And that's one of the reasons why we have this brain drain, which is happening since 2008, and it didn't stop yet. We have more and more people that are going to work abroad, of the younger people, and normally it's the better people that go.
And it's a bad circle, because as you were saying, if there's if we try to argue on price, we cannot have enough structure to pay better. So time goes by very fast, but we are in a panel about internationalization and scaling innovation. I would ask, and probably now start with Pedro, just talking about internationalization and outreach markets and reaching other markets. And because we are a small country, everybody in Portugal has to start thinking from the get-go to global markets, otherwise we are very small. How do you select those markets? What do you have any tips that you use for selecting A versus B? Is it because of innovation, youngsters, age, and what barriers, if that may say so, what barriers are the ones that you usually found when you're going international markets? Is it some tips that can anticipate problems and that we can get other people not to do the same mistake? So that would be my final question.
In our case, we want to supply the very best fish we can have to other chef in any part of the world. So of course we go to the markets we can have which are more related to high gastronomy, to premium quality products, top gastronomy. So of course we go to Switzerland, UK, US. So that's the places where it are. So I would say any main big city in the world could be a nice spot for us to export. Okay, first of thing, and about regarding the challenging, I think there are two barriers. One, logistic. Of course, when we talk about supplying fresh fish or super fresh fish in 24 hours for other country. That means we are buying the fish now and tomorrow could be in New York. And so we are running with the fish. We work overnight and we have to put the fish in airplane at 3 in the morning. So it's a running process. It's a very fast process. And logistic is a challenging. We do have to learn a lot about air freight transport, truck transport. You see how the fish could arrive at the final.
It's not working. Can you? Yeah.
You know, it's good.
Yeah, no, it's
To
good.
see how the fish could arrive at the final destiny in a perfect condition. So logistic is a challenge for because we work with a perishable product. And secondly, regarding this logistic end, what's the other one? Sorry. And of course the bureaucracy, especially now with UK, it's very complicated. I used to say we send 10 boxes of fish and 10 boxes of paperwork because it's so many paperwork. To be done because this game changing in UK make difference also for Dubai. So there are destinies that we need L certificate, we need origin certificate. So this is an extra work for us, not only buying fish, selecting, grading, packing, transporting, but also a lot of paperwork related to the export process. So this is a challenge.
Thank you, Pedro. The challenging of bureaucracy is always not good. Francisco.
I will not add much more to what Pedro said because we have the same problems. I will only add one that is legislation because specifically on labeling, we could be selling the same product, but if we are selling to the UK, if we are selling to Italy, if we are selling to the US, the label needs to be completely different. So in terms of internal processes, means that we need to be prepared to adjust the paperwork, adjust the logistics to the country, to the customers that we are selling. And that sometimes is handing an extra label of work and also an extra level of reviewing of the work to make sure that we don't have problems, because we could have the problem that sometimes the fish arrives to a specific country and gets retained at the border and we need to solve that in 1-2 hours, otherwise we'll basically
So very challenging.
lose the product.
Yeah.
Just an example. Before we were exporting Carabineros, it's a scarlet shrimp, red shrimp to US. We do for a lot of years, no problem at all. And certainly it comes out a law that you must have a document that proves that the boats that fish Carabineros don't die turtles. And because we can't get this document in Portugal, because actually these Carabineros were coming from Morocco and passed by Spain, so we can't get this document from Portuguese authorities. We just stopped sending this product to US because there was no turtle document to prove that the boats don't kill turtles when they fish with trawlers, the Carabineros.
So that's
So a small document could just cancel the process.
Yeah, it's a small thing sometimes. So Luís, just to finish, you don't have a fresh product to sell, I think, but is it your problems the same with how do you select the markets? It is very niche, and I would ask you in 2 minutes just to
we select the markets. Basically, we try to evaluate how prone they are to innovation and to high-end products. That's the first thing. And then also the ease of communication, because that's also an important part. Then in terms of bureaucracy, we also face it, as you say, we can pack our product. The shelf life of our product is not like Pedro and Francisco were telling. Can stay in the shelf for a couple of months, but still, we have bureaucracy problems. But most of these, in fact, they are trade barriers. They are not there by chance. That's the ways the countries used to protect their own industries and their own. But this has evolved in the world. The trade is more and more global, but still there are significant trade barriers. For instance, we identified one of the markets we had identified was Brazil, which would be easy communication in theory, and there is an interesting market for us there, but the trade barriers, they are too big so we quitted the Brazil for now at least, because I mean it gets too complicated.
Sometimes having the same language complicates,
Yeah.
doesn't help. So guys, thank you very much. I hope that the session was good. I hope the moderator was not too bad, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Francisco, Luis, and Pedro. Great way to start the morning. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You can leave the microphone in the chair. Thank you very, very much. And thank you, of course, Hugo, for leading the discussion so wisely. Thank you, guys.